Star Wars Episode 9 is all set to bring a final conclusion to the sequel trilogy and the Skywalker saga itself by writer and director J.J. Abrams. This is Mike Zero. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. Now, one thing that a lot of people are very eager to learn more about is, of course, the first set of footage of Episode 9 that'll give us an overall idea of the plot itself. A lot of people are really wondering about the Star Wars Episode 9 teaser trailer that Disney and Lucasfilm delayed a couple of days ago, sadly, in order to focus more on other projects and for those projects to get more word of mouth, such as Avengers Endgame, Captain Marvel, and even Spider-Man Far From Home, which indeed the teaser trailer will be dropping soon for that. Now, past all of this, when we look at Star Wars Episode 9 as a whole, we do know that this movie really is going to deliver a lot of action in the film. Now, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this movie when it comes to some of the set leaks, the set designs, the concept art and storyboard descriptions, etc. However, when it comes to some of the shot descriptions of the teaser trailer, it actually does go over moments of Rey, Kylo Ren, Lando, Richard E. Grant's character, and more. Specifically, shot descriptions consisting of Rey leading an army of Resistance fighters. She is sporting a black cloak with long black hair and a hood over her head. Behind her are both Finn and Poe with dozens of Resistance soldiers following their path. Again, it's like something out of Game of Thrones and mirrors the Jedi Temple March. The next goes over a quick glimpse of Kylo Ren's new TIE silencer, flying in space and firing at some ships during a space battle. The afterburner of his fighter is now yellow instead of red like the old one. Another gives us our first look at Lando Calrissian in action, sporting a bright blue cape and shooting at a pair of stormtroopers on a jungle world with tons of explosions in the distance. A rear shot of Richard E. Grant's character in a black cape on the bridge of a large ship that may belong to the First Order. And lastly, a shot description of Kylo Ren pointing his ignited lightsaber with two Knights of Ren behind him, followed by a quick shot of Rey taking a large swing with a blue lightsaber blade at Kylo Ren. So I wanted to dive into this and go over some of the shot descriptions that really do pique my interest. First things first, Rey. Now, it goes over how some of her hair is actually colored black. I believe that's just because she's in the shadows. Her hair is really brown, as you all know, in The Force Awakens and in The Last Jedi. Unless they're going to color it differently in this movie, not quite sure, maybe they will, but I don't think it's necessarily black. Now, the other thing here is this. How she's leading a band of Resistance fighters, and behind her are actually characters Poe Dameron and Finn, and behind all three of them are, of course, an army of Resistance soldiers. So this is once again yet another parallel by J.J. Abrams to the prequel trilogy era of the Jedi Temple March between Anakin Skywalker. Now, looking at all of this, I really do love all of the different connections and the parallels that are coming into this movie that really do make us think back to the prequels and the originals. Now, the other thing that I do want to go over is, of course, our first look at Lando Calrissian actually in action, sporting a bright blue cape and firing a blaster at a couple of stormtroopers, with a lot of explosions in the background all the way in the distance. So this sounds like it is going to be this war that takes place on this jungle world that we have been hearing about for so very long now, which honestly I believe is going to be the planet of Batuu. Now, Batuu is a planet based in the Outer Rim, just before the Unknown Regions. It's also the very location of Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, also known as Star Wars Land over in California and Florida. So with that being said, the next one that really does intrigue me, and this all has to do with the character by Richard E. Grant. Now, Richard E. Grant is a character that, well, we haven't really learned too much about. His character is very mysterious. We're not quite sure if he's associated with the First Order and or the Resistance. However, this goes over how he's actually sporting a black cape and he's on board of a ship on an actual large bridge on one of the ships either that belong to the First Order and or the Resistance. So Richard E. Grant's character, I believe that this most definitely is on board of a First Order ship. He usually plays a villain. He played a great villain in Logan. Go ahead and check that movie out. Richard does an amazing job. Even though he doesn't have a lot of screen time, he does amazing work as a villain, and I think that's exactly what he will be in this movie. Now, the other one that I do want to go over is, of course, the description of Kylo Ren pointing an ignited lightsaber at Rey with 2 Knights of Ren behind him. Now, this could be the aftermath of the battle between Rey and the Knights that we have been hearing about for so very long now, and that's that scene description of Rey taking a swing with a blue lightsaber at Kylo Ren. I think that this is just further confirming now that she will be using the Anakin Skywalker lightsaber reforged in Episode 9, which honestly I think is a good thing to a certain level. It could be that we will have a time jump at the very end of this movie where she does have a new lightsaber entirely in order to pretty much leave it open for possibilities of future films or future canon pieces like in the comics and whatnot. But with that being said, guys, what do you think about this? And what do you think about the teaser trailer for Episode 9? You know, when do you think it'll drop, since it has been delayed just a couple of days ago, sadly, by Disney and Lucasfilm? I'm really hoping, and I'm really crossing my fingers, that we do get this thing soon. Now, we do know that the full trailer is actually going to be dropping on April 11th of 2019. The title reveal is actually set to drop in the near future. Hopefully, we will actually be getting this thing very, very soon, and that'll give us an overall idea of what this movie is going to entail. Anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
From night to moon, we hear them moans again.